up, Avenger, and this is the first episode of the Game Time Machine. I'm going to do a new series, kind of a reboot of my old series, Retro Game Review. So I got my cool wristband that's as good as a Power Glove, and I got my cool Arkham Knight necklace, and I'm wearing a cool smiley face because I'm so happy to do this review. And so I'm reviewing Donkey Kong, so I got one of his relatives to be in the video with me to help out.
Give me one of the Donkey Kong's relatives. I'm a monkey, not an ape, you idiot.
So this is Donkey Kong for the Game Boy. It is a black and white Game Boy title, but I think it's classic. It came out in 1994, and it has new updated character sprites from the old game that was on Nintendo and from the arcade. This version is a pretty awesome version because it looks like it starts out like only the arcade version, and it just looks like it's the same type of deal, but into the later levels, after the first four, it gets really different and somewhat challenging with its puzzle games. So right here, it's the same as what you would find in the arcade or the Nintendo title, and has Mario, not Jumpman this time, he's officially Mario, jumping over all these barrels that Donkey Kong is throwing. This is where Donkey Kong originally got his barrel throwing, and Mario comes up to save Pauline, not Daisy, not Princess Peach, it's Pauline. So Pauline gets the short end of the stick because she doesn't appear in many video games besides this. So right here, you get to get your revenge and drop Donkey Kong on his head, and he goes ouch, 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 and you find love with Pauline, but not really, because Donkey Kong gets up and the love is not to be. So I think this is a greater difference for the arcade game. I never got this far in the arcade game, but I thought that it just repeats over and over again with you getting harder levels and having to fight Donkey Kong again. So after you get done with what you think is the arcade style version of this game, there's actually a cutscene in this, and I love cutscenes in games. You wouldn't think there's cutscenes. And Mario runs into that house right there, castle right there, and it previews showing what you're going to need in the next few levels. And this next few levels are going to focus on getting keys into the keyhole to go after Donkey Kong. So I love this cutscene because I love that it's a cutscene, a Game Boy game that's black and white. So right here, Donkey Kong is running away and Pauline still yelling help. So these levels are totally different from the other ones, and you have to use your smarts to figure out how to get the key in the keyhole. You can actually pick up the enemies, and you can pick up the key. So it's kind of like a Mario 2 style. If you remember the game Mario 2 on Nintendo, you can pick up an enemy and you can throw him actually, and do whatever you want with him on whatever space you want to throw him. And you can throw the key, but if you retrieve the key and throw it, it will disappear after a few seconds. So right here I need to retrieve the key, and I put it in the lock, and then I go to the next level, which is pretty awesome. This is a pretty easy level, but they get harder. This is made to be kind of a casual game, I think. I think it was made to not be one of the Nintendo hard games as people put it, but I like that. I like sometimes that you don't have to put all your effort into a game, that you can kind of like just sit back and relax in a game, that it doesn't have to be the hardest game ever. This game doesn't have to be a stressful experience. The game is changed up. There is still some of the same dynamics to it, like a hammer. Right here, there is the hammer that still hits all the enemies and wipes them away, which is pretty cool. And it keeps some of the same music from the original Donkey Kong arcade, which makes it familiar. A lot of the sound effects are familiar from the Donkey Kong arcade, and I like that a lot. And it's pretty cool. You can throw your hammer right here. But there's a lot of different dynamics to this game. You can do things like climb a pole, as demonstrated right here, or climb on a clothesline, and it's pretty cool that there is one-ups, and so that you have more lives to live, and so that this makes the game a little bit easier and a little more casual. I already mentioned that that's a casual game, but I think that's not its downfall, one of its strengths, definitely. So every few levels you get to find yourself against Donkey Kong again and try to get some sweet revenge and get Pauline back. And these levels are pretty fun, and Mario can get killed really easy because Donkey Kong is really strong, but these are definitely fun to face off against Donkey Kong again and try to rescue Pauline. And it definitely has one of those kind of the Princesses in Another Castle feels, because you don't really get Pauline back. I don't know about last levels, I never really made it to the last levels, but in these ones, it's just a total tease. It's like Mario, like I said, Princess in Another Castle. and Mario can totally do a cool handstand like that was right there. I love this game because it controls so easy, and it has some different controls than the original game. It has that handstand, and I don't think you get to do the handstand on the original game, but the controls are so great, and controls are not slippery or anything like that. They're really great controls, especially for a handheld. And I remember playing this when I was young, that it was kind of challenging, but it was such a great casual game, and the Game Boy fit really well for it. So I thought this was a great handheld game. I thought that this was also great because Game Boy was one of the leaders of what I thought was good games. And just because you have a handheld doesn't mean the games have to be inferior. It means that the games can be good games, but they just have to be different because it's a handheld. This is, of course, different from the Donkey Kong on Super Nintendo. I believe this and the Super Nintendo version were made in the same year. And some of these levels can be harder though, but yeah, I got it right here. Like I said, it doesn't give you the gratification you really want kind of sometimes because you didn't get to save Princess Pauline. But then here's another cutscene that makes me happy. So once again, the cutscene explains what's going to be needed to be used in the next few levels. You're going to have to use this bridge type deal to go through in the next levels, and the puzzles only get harder. To me, this game, the level design is great, and the creativity that they put into this was also great, with the enemies and the ladders and different things, the different dynamics of the game. I love that you can use this ladder as you want and as you please, where you really have to do it in one certain spot, but you can mess up and do it anywhere you want, and you can totally get burned by all these enemies, and that's pretty cool. I think it was cool that they came out with two such different Donkey Kong games in the same year, that this is built on the original premise of Donkey Kong, and it kind of feels like the Donkey Kong original arcade, but it's totally different, and they totally made a new spin on it and made it fresh again. And this was one of my favorite games when I was little, and that was the reason that it was totally fresh, and I played some of the arcade, but I never got through it, and this really interests me because it was so different. Different is good. So of course this game is a very fun game, but it can be challenging in some parts, and you have to figure out these puzzles. Oh, are you serious? Did you really raid a refrigerator and steal one of my beers? What does a monkey like you need a beer for?
What does a monkey like me need a beer for? This review is so boring it drives me to drink. Thank you, Avenger, for making me have alcoholism as a monkey. I just want to go back to the jungle, please.
Balls, buck up. This review isn't that boring. I think it's pretty good myself. So let's get back to it and play some more Donkey Kong. So the game continues on being fun, and it implements, like I said before, games parts from Mario 2, where you pick up stuff and throw. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. I forgot about that, where Donkey Kong can totally just pick you up and throw you and break you. So yeah, that's one thing you want to do if you don't want to get hurt in this game, is you don't want to get too close to Donkey Kong stages like this. That's pretty fun because this is really inventive, and besides Mario 2, I don't really know a game that's so much like this until the later stages of gaming, like the Super Nintendo. I don't remember any other games like this on Game Boy. Prove me wrong, but yeah, my limited knowledge doesn't know one. So this really was a crowd pleaser, and it pleased a lot of people. Got really good reviews, and people loved to beat up on Donkey Kong at this time. He wasn't the hero we know. He was the villain that always loved to steal Princess Pauline, and I love that. I love the villain that you really love to hate. So you travel to different lands and you meet different enemies. I like how that varied the enemies are. There could be ladybugs and whatever that spiky thing is. And I forgot to mention, I love the music in here. I love that it's still like the kind of old school music, like well, no, wait. That was the Pac-Man music. I meant to do the Donkey Kong music, but whatever. I love the music in here, and even though I make mistakes on my classic music, I love to listen to the classic music, and I like when they don't change it from one game to another. So this has been the Game Time Machine, and I love this game. I would give it a 10 out of 10 for how good it is and for the nostalgia of it. Like, comment, and subscribe if you like this review. What'd you think about it, Balls? Did you like the review? Was it pretty cool?
Frankly, it was so bad it gave me diarrhea. I don't know why you make these reviews. These are so terrible, horrible, and boring. I don't know why you would do this. Please, come on, just let me go back to the jungle with all my monkey friends.
That's not happening, monkey. We're a team now. You're my sidekick. I can't do a review without you, and you need me too. I don't know why you do, but I know you need me too. Everybody gets to have a Duck Avenger in their life. So, no one in the jungle. Sorry about that. We're friends now, and we're going to be doing a lot more reviews, because I think this review was just as gold as the Zelda card. Ha 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 ha. Fake laugh inserted.
What did I do to deserve this?
So I think it's good to put this game on the good game list. And let's do it. Along with Punch-Out. And next, we'll be doing a game from the bad game list.